Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I seem to be having some delay on my side, so I have to apologize if there is a problem. But welcome to the podcast. This is your Footy Fantasy Day, weekly Sunday tonic. We are here to talk about football as usual, and with me today, three fans who are here to console themselves. We have Otto, our Real Madrid resident fan. We have Bola, our Liverpool fan, and we have Ovi, our Arsenal fan. So, guys, please send me your addresses. I will have to ship you guys some napkins because it's been a bloody week for you guys. But you know, and here we don't take no prisoners. So quickly, before we go in, I wanted to tell you guys about our handles so you can follow and subscribe. And of course, you can comment as you drop comments. We will be posting your comments and reading it out on the show. We are Footy Fantasy on YouTube and on Facebook. That is FOOTIE Fantasy. However, on Twitter, it is Footy AD Fantasy. FOOTIE A for Alpha, D for Delta Fantasy. That's the only place that is different. So please follow us, subscribe, give us comments, like our stuff, and share with your friends because that really helps. Guys, it's been a good week for me, but it's been a sad week for most of you. So, unfortunately, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that made all of you sad this week. So, please, no crying. I know you're all crying in your hearts, but I mean, if you cry, it will also be good. You'll make good content, but I don't. I would only laugh. I won't console you. So we're gonna start with Man City. Hmm. Man City versus Chelsea. We are not really talk about. We're not going to talk about the game. There's no point in talking about that game from my perspective. Um, as far as I'm concerned, it was just a typical Man City game. So instead of talking about that, I think the season is wrapped up. They're the champions. They got their God of honor today. So which of you will, volunteer to review Man City's season quickly or give them their props? Because they are champions, they deserve to get some props. So who's volunteering? Anyone?
I can go. I can go.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, it was. I think prior to the season starting, a lot of people expected either Man City or Liverpool to be champions. Most people, Man City. So Arsenal flew out the blocks, 5 straight wins, and Man City were close by. But they, I think Pep has had a masterful season in that he has been able to use the squad ultimately to keep them ready and firing for the end. So I know Arsenal were like on top for most of the season, and there are all kinds of memes about that. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that Man City were always within 5, 7, 8 points with the game in hand from Arsenal. So they always made sure that they were within touching distance. And I think the fact that they were able to beat Arsenal home and away was really telling and making it made it very difficult for Arsenal to be able to be champions. So there are levels to this thing, and they are arguably the best Premier League team we've seen. They are in that conversation right now, and only God knows what they will do next season to maybe even go the step further. In the beginning, there was talk about Haaland not making their game flow, but I think as the season went on, it was pretty clear that the little they lost from having a more technical player, they gained more from having Haaland. So at the end of the day, they are deserved champions. Um, they played well. I don't think Arsenal played the best football. over the course of the season, but that doesn't matter. They were efficient. They won the games they needed to win, and when it mattered, they went up to a different. They went up to a different gear that Arsenal could not match, and that's just based on their experience, based on the quality of players they have, based on the coaching setup that they have, and all that. So kudos to them, no doubt about that. Um, I mean, as a bitter Arsenal fan, I would say I hope that they get relegated soon. I mean, give other people a chance. This is becoming too much. They won what 5 out of 6 now, or something like that. It's embarrassing. But at the end of the day, until they are found guilty or innocent, they are the best team in the land. It's as simple as that. You got to accept it.
Okay, okay, okay.
So let, let me leave it there.
Yeah, you have to leave it there because you I told you to give Man City their props.
I did.
Not to start explaining to us what Arsenal did over the course of the season.
I did give them.
You know, give no 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 no. You could have spoken about that without bringing Arsenal into it.
Okay,
We
so
don't want to talk about. You see, I came here and said they went limp. We don't want to talk about people that were limping at the end of the season. We want to talk about the people that were running and flying high. So please, I don't want to hear about Arsenal play the best football. Okay, like I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that is. Like, come on, what exactly does that mean? You play the best football. Last night they have the best defense. Last night they have the best offense. What does how do you quantify this play the best football thing? I mean, Ovi, what do you think about that?
me, no, maybe the best is the wrong term. For me, the most exciting football. Like Man City, some of their games are so boring. They just score 1 or 2 goals and just pass from now to the end of the game. There's no excitement. There's no coming back. They just bully teams. It's not exciting after a point. But Arsenal games, like when you go 2 goals down, you fight back, you pull the crowd, everybody's excited. When you win, everybody's jumping.
Okay, okay,
May,
okay. Cut
may,
it
may,
out. Cut it out. Cut it
may I
out.
may I comment on that?
Yes, please,
May I
please,
comment on
brother.
that?
Yeah,
Gucci,
because
my brother, look. I'm a fair guy. Man City are a dynasty right now. This is 3 in a row. And when we criticize Man City, we're not criticizing them on anyone else's standards. They get criticized on their standards. And their quote unquote slow start is resulting in them having 88 points with 2 games left. That means they're on course for a 96-point season. That is huge. On top of that, 62 goal difference. Arsenal are at 40 goal difference. This is huge. Like, we're evaluating them on completely different standards. Like, yes, it was fun that Arsenal were there. I know you guys enjoyed the jokes, the elephant on top of the tree. When is the elephant going to fall down? But eventually, what Arsenal served as were pacemakers for Man City because it looks like they haven't dropped off at all. And now
like
they broken Salah's record with Erling Haaland. Kevin De Bruyne is probably one of the best Premier League players ever to play, English football. Like, we got to give these guys props, like Bernardo Silva coming off of nowhere. And, first of all, he wanted to leave. And then now he's scoring braces and just killing their team is just solid. And one thing I asked Arsenal fans at the beginning of the season, I didn't know they were going to collapse like this. I didn't know that the Prophet, what's that brother's name? From Manchester United, the former left back. I didn't know that Prophet was
Ever.
no right back. Gary Neville.
Gary Neville.
I didn't know the Prophet was going to be so accurate with his prediction of 10 points, right? But I asked Arsenal at the beginning of the season, I was like, look, you have an opportunity right now. There's an investigation. Join with us in this investigation against Man City. And maybe you might get, maybe their season might be washed away and you might become default champions. But, the Arsenal fans said no. They didn't want to join us. They thought they could win, and ultimately Man City proved themselves to be the team that they are. So at the end of the day, just kudos to them. Kudos to Pep. They're amazing. They really are amazing, and it's going to take a lot for any team to catch up with them.
I agree. I agree with you, Bola.
Mhm.
And I'm a Real Madrid fan. Receiving that beating, like a serious beat, heavy wipeout.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Wait. We're gonna have time.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
know, I
we're
know, I
gonna
know, I know.
go. Oh, okay.
But coming from me, just to see the performance of that team in all competition, it's just very impressive. It's just surreal. It's just to see the level of 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 football. They showing the energy, the enthusiasm, the power and hunger to win. It's just unbelievable. And you mentioned a key player, De Bruyne. It's just impeccable. It's just impeccable. Just to see that guy playing, it's just like, and so humble, so humble. He comes out of the pitch and he's just like, whatever, I did what I had to do. It's just pretty impressive. So I definitely agree with you, Bola, on that. I cannot be more more agreeing with you than that. It's just pretty impressive.
I'm gonna just write it off and say something. Just to tie in everything you all said. You said it all, but there's one thing about excitement when they're talking about watching Arsenal. Arsenal were the most exciting team. Yeah, they were the most exciting team because you were waiting for them to lose, and so you were looking at the game, going, "Oh, I don't believe they won. I can't believe they won. I can't believe." I mean, I'm saying this with respect. I'm not, because I've come out here and said Arsenal did very well.
They
So
did.
that in itself was there. That was the excitement, And to be fair, there's a pedestrian thing about the way Man City did it. Because, like we said, they were not even as good as they were, and they were still going to end up with 96 points, 94 points.
94, 94.
Yeah, 94 points. And so you are looking at a side that's almost mechanical, very robotic. And, you know, like a flat track bully, that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, that kills the excitement part of it. So I'll give you that, Ovi. I give you the excitement part. But, I got to say, Man City were they just have too much smoke, and Arsenal were not ready for that smoke. Arsenal were the ones that brought a lighter there and and then there's this thing about it when it seems like there was something personal too, that because after they won the trophy, they came and started talking about the Arsenal guys or the guys on the panel investigating them and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, maybe that was why they were so mad. Because if you think about it, when they started playing very well, they played their best soccer after all the allegations came out.
Yeah.
They literally, when they came out and said all the Premier League teams hate them, they went out for them. So that part, it looks like they had something up their ass. You know what I mean? Like they really were on fire all of a sudden. But I'm gonna take comments, and it's not gonna be pretty for you, Ovi. I'm gonna warn you because oh my god, it's all smoke out here. So first comment was okay. The first comment coming out here is come on. I don't know why my screen. If it shows on your screen, can you read it?
MOKOV, any motivational speech today?
And then we got the second one. Ovi, it's all you today, man. It's all love, man. It's all love. Go ahead, Bola.
We're here with all the smoke. I have the firewood out. Obi about to get that smoke. Fire. That's Oga Kwame.
Okay, Obi.
Obi looking sleepy, like he was on top the whole night. Oga Kwame.
Come on. Let's keep going.
This Ayo, toe to toe FC.
Okay, come on. I'm letting them just keep going.
Nola, Salty News at 3 p.m. by OV News Network. You're getting it, brother. You're getting it.
It's all you, man. It's all
everybody loves you, Ovi. Everybody loves you.
Akinola, 9 points out of 27 points. Chocomilo FC.
Oh my god. It's gonna come on.
This for Ayo. their mates were getting points. They were measuring toes.
And finally, the last one.
Akinola, Arsenal 2003-4, the Invincibles. Oh my gosh. Arsenal 2022-23, the Delusionals. Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow. Come on.
Wow.
Come on.
Uh,
That was brutal. That was brutal.
That was
Brutal.
come on. Okay, look. I will not permit any more trolling of Ovi. Ovi, you've had enough. Please, guys, you can only troll other people today. I mean, there's a Liverpool fan right here, and there's a Real Madrid fan right here. So please,
But let me come on respect to Obi and Arsenal. You know, every time we're hearing a team to be, defeat and wipe out and all that, we always talk about the losing team, the losers. We never give credits to the guys that are doing the freaking amazing job. And we have to focus on what the Manchester City is doing his job.
Mhm.
You know what? They've been in serious defeat on previous years. We caused many serious bad defeat to that team, and that probably ignite them. So let's Arteta and his team to use that as an advantage to come back stronger next year. I think, in my case, my team deserved that because there's no changes like 3 years ago. Well, minus little, not the one we usually get to see in our team. But teams sometimes need those kind of shakes. And
Otto,
you were so close, Obi, and not be able to maintain. Okay, it's time to re recheck everything that the whole team didn't do well this year, especially being so close to get the trophy at the end. But it makes us stronger, right? So I know you want to pick on him, but
Otto,
definitely,
Otto.
Manchester City is doing his part.
Well, hold on one moment. Can you touch your neck like this? Do you have a fever? Come on, check it. Do you have a fever?
No,
Are you
I'm
sure?
talking real. I'm talking real.
Arsenal should do what? Should use this for what?
what I would say is
Are
that
you okay? Arsenal?
I agree with you.
Talking about, look, you know what? I do watch the Premier League not the way you watch it
Mhm.
because I don't follow any specific team in the league, so I see it. I'm excited, and I see it the way they performing and the way they play. I like certain teams. I do. Previously I talked to Ayu on many occasions. I love Manchester United. It's just they're just not going through a good season, but their history speaks to itself. I mean, you never gonna deny the history of Manchester United ever. So uh, let's focus on the real deal, the performance of what teams are doing, right? Like what Bola, your team. I think there's an amazing team, but this year you get to get beat by our team, and we got to get beat by the Manchester City. So it's always cons and pros, and
Yeah.
it's just the way it is. I'm just looking at it from outside.
No, that's why you're the neutral on this topic. Because
no. Well, I mean, what I would say is
Mhm.
when you're doing well, that's where you have haters, right? It's just the way life goes. And, and I
Dude,
would
are you sure? Because we've been hating you for years now. You haven't been doing well.
Oh man.
We've been hating you for years, bro.
Yeah, what I would say is what I like is context. There are a lot of Arsenal fans before this season were saying, I just want to be in a race. I just want to be important. I just want to matter and then they got it. Any club who's been in a race is not going to win every race. You've been in the race you've been asking for, right? Look at Liverpool. They've been in the race. We wanted to be like Liverpool. We are there first season. Let's try and push on. That's all we can do. You can't win every race. At least you've been in the race, you've participated. Other teams will laugh at you, but this is where we are in. Banter era. 12 team will be laughing at second team. Okay, but you've been in the race. That's all that matters. That's all you can do. Last season, they laughed at us for not finishing top four. Look at us this season. Top four was never an issue. So next season, Maybe the title will not be an issue. Maybe it'll be something else we'll be trying to get. Maybe it'll be treble. Who knows?
Fair enough.
My
Yeah,
my chime in, Bucci.
sure,
Hmm?
sure.
Like,
Yeah,
look, I was
please go ahead.
look, I was born and raised in North London. I grew up around Arsenal fans my entire life, and the problem is not the team.
It's the
The problem
facts.
is not the
The
team. It's the
fans, it's
fans.
the
The
fans.
fans. Like, if you guys have remained humble, we're just trying to make moves, just trying to, get to the next level, secure top four. No one would have a problem with that. But Arsenal fans are coming out the woodwork. Oh, we're gonna win the league. You don't want to mess with us. Oh, there's no player like Saka. There's no player like Odegaard. Like, Arsenal fans were doing the most, and when you do the most, you set yourself up for a target. But I will say this to Arsenal: you guys had a wonderful season. Like, you really did have a wonderful season. You have talented players. Arteta is doing some really, really good work. And you definitely have something to build on onto the future. I love how you have your chemistry and cohesion amongst your team. You made really, really smart decisions as well. Um, I know you wanted to get some other players. I know there was the whole Mudryk thing and blah blah blah. But picking up Trossard, that was a fantastic pickup. You ran into a few injury woes, which a lot of people have, which happens to a lot of people when they go on these title runs. And use this off season to try and build cohesion between everyone, and then you'll be right up there again next year. You guys, how old is the average age of the team? Like
I, oh,
24.
20,
yeah.
Like,
24 point something,
you
yeah.
The
guys,
whole team is young, very young.
Yeah.
young, good footballers, man. So
Yeah.
just keep building on that. Try and limit the fans from self-pinning yourself. But the future is bright for Arsenal. The future really is bright, and kudos to a magnificent season.
All right, guys, we're gonna pivot. I've given Arsenal enough praise. The last time I gave Arsenal praise here, they said people actually trolled me and said Arsenal fans will not build. Arsenal fans should please build a statue for me outside the Emirates because I was giving them so much high praise. But yeah, you guys did very well, and but we have to move on because, like I said, we're not here to talk about Arsenal. But I'm gonna take a comment because a comment just came in. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ovi, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. So Akinola Digun said, "You can't be like Liverpool. At least they won during COVID. Stay calm. I have a dream FC."
Yeah, but they didn't win in the first season.
We actually won it before COVID, but
Yeah, it
it's
was
all
before
Yeah,
good.
but
COVID.
It's
in the
all good.
first season,
The
they
No,
probably
wait,
came.
wait, wait. You won it. No, remember? No, you won it during COVID.
league was already wrapped up.
Yeah,
It
the
was
one
done. It was done. The
they didn't
COVID season when we were locked out the whole year is the following season, and Man City won that.
win
Yeah,
for the league, right?
yeah,
So it's okay.
that's right. That's right. Okay, now we're gonna go straight to it's your turn, Otto. It's your turn. It's your turn to smoke you. What the heck was Ancelotti doing at the Etihad? Was it a case of Ancelotti messing up, or was it just that the game, this Man City team was too good? So I want you to dive in, and then the rest of us will talk a little bit about this. So Otto, what do you think?
Uh,
You are free to cry, please.
no, there's nothing to be crying about. I expressed my opinion a few minutes ago. I think things like this needs to happen in our team. Uh, Obviously, Angelotti, what he did get wrong? Yeah, obviously, this is what I might believe in football is uh, the team that wins is untouchable. Why you make changes? He have perfect team in Bernabeu in Spain, and he had control over the team. He made two minor changes, in in the whole entire lineup at the beginning, and it was on the defense. The guy that scored the own goal on the fourth, I think it was the fourth goal, and
Yeah.
Militao. That was a
Militao, yeah.
huge, huge mistake because in his position was the German guy. The German guy was having complete control on
Haaland.
uh, Haaland because he was not having a complete control on Haaland. He need an extra support of two other guys, which is in the first team, on the first game, only one guy was doing the job. This time with three guys. So you focus on Haaland, the other holes are wide open. So where they score? Did Haaland score any? No. Of course, they had control over it. Like you see the goalkeeper did his job, but the goalkeeper is not gonna stop everything. Thank God for him. Thank God for for him to be there because otherwise it would be like a serious massacre. Like it was bad, but it would be like probably 10-0. And Angelotti did bad on the lineup, initial lineup, not making the changes that of the lineup he had perfectly fine in Madrid. But because of whatever reason happened, Militao had to come in. He and Another thing that Angelotti did was just looking on the history and the heavy legacy of Karim Benzema. The dude is not performing. He talked about it on the previous, like yesterday. They interviewed him for the game today, and they told him because he was not performing well either. And they told him about it. He said it was just a one game. Excuse me, sir, that was not one game. Karim had been playing bad on previously, probably for the past 2 or 3 months. Okay, if it wasn't Karim Benzema and in his position, this the Dominican will be there or Asensio. Let's say Asensio will be there. Do you think Asensio performing that way? Do you think he would have substituted? Of course he would have done it. No, because it was Karim Benzema. He didn't want the people to boo him or whatever reason. Karim Benzema was literally the whole team was bad, but Karim Benzema was the worst one. He was walking on the pit, and when he knew the team was not performing well, he was not performing well, so he didn't make the changes at the right time. But again, that is my perception from my team of what the changes that he did wrong. That he didn't look at it the way everybody was looking at it, or probably he did, and he didn't want to recognize that he did a big mistake. But the major part was Pep was doing his job. He was completely over control of the whole entire game. He he played him out. Period. Period. But at the end of the day, for the team like my team, whoever who's on the pitch, it's Real Madrid. You have to perform. At least go and play and compete. And they did not compete at all. So Angelotti, if that's the question, is right for him. Um, Initial lineup and not doing the right substitution that he needs to do at the right time.
Okay. I get you. I'm gonna comment, but quickly I'm gonna reply to what you said, give my own thoughts, but quickly let me um read this comment. It goes, I come in peace. This is a Facebook user. I come in peace here to enjoy tears from the capital of Spain and not London. Okay.
That's
I'm
my
gonna add.
Friday.
I'm gonna add something to what you said because I think there's a very important thing I noticed a while ago when watching Real Madrid, and I was wondering which was Modric is about 35 or 36, if I'm correct, or 37.
At 7:38.
Yeah, 37, 38. Excuse me. Benzema is 35. Benzema is 35. Cruz is 33. Now, these three guys, the core of your team, and I think they have they have you know they're high mileage cars. They've gone to the end. The opposite side, you're looking at guys in their 20s in the prime of their game, and they're not just guys that are 20 in the prime of their game. They're some of the best players too in the game. Benzema, Cruz, and Modric in their prime. That there's no midfielder that touches Modric in this world in his prime. At that time, he was playing in his prime. There was nobody that touches him. That's just a fact. But that's the kind of same kind of player De Bruyne is, and that 6, 7, 8, 6, 7 age gap is just too much. Now, what I'm trying to say here is that why over the course of this season, you're looking at people like Madrid bought to become the future, not being blooded into this team. They kept playing the same guys. Chouameni sits a lot of games. He sits out a lot of games. Cavaminga was bought as a midfielder, then converted to a left back. These guys, how do you then even bring them into a game and they change a game? They don't have the experience. They've not gotten that, into playing. Cavaminga is really trying a lot because he's playing in the left back. But when you move him to midfield all of a sudden, he hasn't developed that rhythm with these guys. Same thing with Chouameni. So I think might have been the problem.
No, it is. It is. It is. Let me clarify this, okay? Like you were saying about all these teams, right? The Arsenal is very young. Having a whole complete team of youngsters is it's kind of negative.
Yes.
Having a good combination of youngster for the speed on the right position where you need like the wingers, forwards, you need a killer, a serial killer. All right. Talking football. But you have to have a perfect combination because you have to combine that experience with the youngster. All right. Look at what happened to Arsenal, having just only young people. You need people with experience to to be pushing. But of course, what did I say earlier? It needed to happen because why they haven't been investing in the team on revamp the team because they've been winning a lot. They've been winning a lot of competition. They've been going like how many finals we've been. I mean, it was becoming like so normal to be in May and June watching games of our Real Madrid. So it's becoming so normal. So if the whole entire upper management they saying okay, if they keep winning, well, we have to invest in new one, or they doing and performing well. Of course, they know they're good, but of course the age has to be the media age is pretty high, and we need that fresh legs. That's exactly the problem, and that's what I say. Ancelotti didn't want to do the substitution on the right time, like right at the half, at halftime. You have to make the changes because he knew he would be wiped out. He didn't make any. So of course you need a combination of both. So the problem is the age. Definitely have to be. The performance is definitely going to be a big difference. Big difference.
Yeah,
that's fair. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Otto. Like, your problem is very similar to my club's problem. You guys are just better. But on top of like the young and the old, ideally you need to have young, old, and that middle ground, right? That middle ground of like your 26-year-olds to like 29-year-olds, your 25s and unders, and then your super experienced people in your 30s, so that you always have a continuous rotation of players, highly experienced, middle experienced, and very young, and keep the rotation going on and on and on. They used to say Sir Alex Ferguson was really, really good at that, right? Selling your older players just before they hit, their decline while they're at the highest of their value. You have the next generation coming in, and then you have the youngsters behind them. And also on top of that, to Otto's point, to be successful doing that, you have to play all of them all throughout the season so that they do have they are in sync, they are in rhythm. If there's any changes that they have to make on the fly, at least someone isn't coming in cold and doesn't know how to play the other players. They should already know that from day dot, from the very beginning, so that they can be effective and efficient in what they do. So, Real Madrid's going to be back. I know it's a little bit of a disappointing season, but you're right there. You're further ahead than, say, my team. We need to completely rebuild that whole midfield. I think just a few more players, and then getting the balance right throughout the whole season, you guys are going to be right up there winning again.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
yeah. So yeah, on the game, I actually watch. Sometimes I don't watch Champions League games anymore since that's when I've been. But I actually watched this one. I actually did watch this one because I'm just like,
Oh
I'm
god.
sure
That's funny.
myself stay my level. But I watched this game, so I want to ask Otto a question though because I was surprised when I saw the lineup for the second game. Do Militao and Rudiger play together in matches for Madrid?
No, not necessarily.
But
Usually,
why not?
because um, in, Militao doesn't have the strength of like in this specific game. It was shown that Rudiger had more power to stop Haaland
Haaland.
by himself. By himself.
Okay.
By himself. Militao couldn't.
Yeah,
So they both he needs support. So that's three guys on one,
yeah.
and of course you that's why you can Militao can play in some game, but I think he had big problem that this guy Militao had. It's just in Spain, in the media, people were saying that he was considered the best center back of the world, and it literally got to his head. And right after that opinion, he started like decreasing, and I don't know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
He was showing strength, but for some reason, Angelotti has seen that they cannot play together, and I don't know why he put him in the final lineup.
Because me, when I was thinking of the lineup for Real Madrid, I was expecting Alaba to move to left back, and then they play Militao and um, Rudiger together because Rudiger already showed in the first leg that he can handle Haaland by himself. So I was expecting that way you can push Kamavinga to midfield and give you more energy in the midfield. That's what I thought they were going to do.
And as a matter of fact, when Camavinga comes to play on the defense line, he performs amazing. He performs even better. I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just that game. It was just not their game, especially Militao,
Yeah,
because he had shown that he should come in the second half. Is my opinion.
I think in conclusion, I'm gonna say it wasn't about the game, because saying it wasn't their game. I think this team was a team going down, and they met a team that is
oh,
going that's up. It's not going up. This team is at the top.
and
They might even. I mean, there's nothing more above where they are. Because if they're better than this, then there's no hope for the rest of us. Because I just want to give Man City that. Because the only shame was that Real Madrid lost 4-0. It was a bad beat in every department. But to be fair, this Man City team was that good. They're that good because you have Haaland, who is one hell of a player, and then you have Kevin De Bruyne, who's another who's a gem, and then you have all around them these little pieces of players that can go into every other team in Europe and start. They're that good. It's not because some people are saying some of these players are system players. They're only doing good. They will only do good for Pep. No, not Bernardo Silva, not Gondogan, not Rodri. I mean Alvarez. The striker on the bench is Alvarez. That's how good this team is.
De Bruyne and Grealish.
Mm-hmm.
Class of a player.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Oh,
Every ball they passed, it was just so perfect because
yeah.
their performance was amazing. So you couldn't stop those guys. That's literally the key.
Yeah.
They couldn't stop them. Couldn't
Yeah.
stop
I
them.
mean, like, but what's Carvajal supposed to do against Grealish one on one? What's he supposed to do? Like, he was literally one on one the whole game, and he's gonna
But
eat
he
him
couldn't.
up.
But he couldn't. He
Yeah, he
couldn't.
could. It's hard because
But he
so
couldn't.
these guys are that good. That's the fear. That's the weird thing about
And,
it.
and another key is just like Pep had 3 years to study the same exact team. Because this team, that team that we've been mentioning,
Mm-hmm.
those guys have 5 Champions League on their hand.
Mm-hmm. That's
Five.
right.
Five. They have one less than the second spot in Champions League winners. One less. Imagine 5 guys. So, of course, they've been playing against the same exact team for the past 3 years. Of course, Pep is gonna study them very well. He say, "I know how this guy played, and I know what they did. That did wrong last year. They were very close. I'm like, this year we got them, and that was the key. That
Mm.
was Pep got. Pep knew the weakness of Madrid. Oh, if we got this guy, we got him, and he did. He have enough time to study Madrid, and that was the key. He knew what to do.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. But sorry again. Actually, Bola, no one's talked about you. People have been saying sorry, but dude, uh, well, at least you got Europa League. Cool.
You know what,
'Cause-
my boy, my boys, we had a horrible season. We had a horrible season. Our start was terrible. So we're not even supposed to be anywhere near close to top four. So it would be disappointing, or I would feel more disappointed today if I haven't had like a whole half a season of being disappointed, you know?
Fair
Because like
enough. Fair
we're
enough.
like we're like 10th or ninth for the majority of the season, and now we've gone on I guess we didn't lose to Aston Villa, so it's like a 9-game winning streak, but we have no business being
9 game
in the
unbeaten
top 4
streak.
unbeaten streak because we drew to Aston Villa.
Mhm.
So we really had no business even being there. And now anything can happen. Man U could lose the next 2 games, and we can win the next 2 and sneak in that top 4 spot. But
You've got only one game, man. What?
I'll be
You've got
highly
only one
shocked.
game.
Yeah, we got 1 game. They got 2 games. Man U
Yeah.
has 2 games. I'll be highly shocked if that happens. So
Wait,
you
why
know,
Man U? Why not? Why not at Newcastle? That's
because Newcastle are too far ahead on goal
They
difference.
can go different. They can catch. I mean,
We can't catch. We can't catch
But you
Newcastle.
you cannot overtake on points. You can't get enough the same points. You can only overtake on.
yeah,
Goal difference, and Newcastle are too far ahead.
Oh, that's right. That's
yeah.
right. You can't.
Yeah,
You can't even. Yeah, you can't overtake. Yeah, that's
Man
true.
U, we got more goal difference than Man U.
So if Man
Newcastle have, was it 7?
Yeah,
I'm not anticipating us winning any more games
yeah.
9-0 this
That's
year.
right.
So
That's right. It's the yeah. So well, well, it's fair enough. I think the truth is, you guys finished your season well, but I'm so happy you guys ended up in Europa League because I think you will end up in Europa League. It will
Oh,
be. I usually don't say certainties. There are no certainties in football, so I don't say set this will certainly happen. But just like I feel that Man City will, it's almost certain that Man City will win a treble this season. It's also almost certain that Man United will not lose 2 games at home.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
expecting.
yeah.
Like I said, I'm not
So yeah,
expecting Manchester United to lose.
if it happens, it's a fireable offense. That's just how bad it is. It's the coach
Uh,
to get fired for that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, that's how bad it is because So, but Bola, back to you now.
yes, sir.
Yeah, now I'm going to be very strict in this part.
Okay.
I want everyone. We're gonna start with you. To talk, give me two positions and the players. If you don't have the players per se, like you don't have the guy you want your team to buy, but you know the position. You can say two positions you want your team to fill this summer. Or, the positions, the players you want. For example, let me guess, you might want a new right back. That kind of stuff, and why. So two positions.
Oh, Liverpool, that's easy. Two
Mhm.
midfielders.
Two midfielders.
We
Okay.
need two midfielders.
Why? And do you have any suggestions and why?
Yeah, we've been linked with quite a few players. Why that has been the missing link in our team all year. Um, we're kind of stacked up front right now. And I think in defense, we're pretty solid, although an extra defender, if Joel Matip leaves, we would need one of those too. But midfield has been the gaping hole all season. Um, our players are injury prone. Um, it's a problem when we have to keep starting James Milner. That's a problem, you know. I love our captain Jordan Henderson, but we need that cannot be our guy. You know, um, Harvey Elliott is a wonderful talent, but he's not there yet. He's too young. Um, what's his name? Carvalho. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if there was some kind of internal beef. But in addition to that, he was actually an upfront player. He was actually more of a number 10/winger when we brought him in. So trying to make him play midfield isn't necessarily the best thing. Thiago keeps getting injured. Um, Naby Keita has not really performed since he's been here and he's leaving. Oxlade Chamberlain is leaving. So we now have a huge hole. Who do I want to replace? Obviously, I'd love Jude Bellingham, but I know my club is cheap. We're not buying $100 million player. It's just not going to happen, right? Hello? Oh, Bucci, you're muted.
I said, yeah, he's in Madrid. Let him go. Just
He's gone. He's gone.
he's
He's
gone.
gone. He's
Yeah.
gone. But I'm not gonna lie. We flirted with him for the last 2 years, and we really wanted him, but we weren't gonna get him for cheap, so that didn't happen. So realistic players who I think could potentially come in. Um, one of the Brighton boys. I know we've been linked heavily with
McAllister.
McAllister.
Yeah.
And Caicedo. It looks like we're more likely to get McAllister. I'll be okay with McAllister. McAllister's a great player. Caicedo, I prefer slightly more, but McAllister, World Cup winner, can't go wrong with that.
If your club is cheap, they're not gonna get Caicedo.
We're not getting Caicedo.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
happening. I think our
Caicedo.
Arsenal might get him.
Arsenal is cheap too. They might not get, because if Arsenal is going for Rice, how they going to afford Rice and Caicedo? That's like 200
That's true.
million. Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
about at least 160 for those two guys.
That's
I don't
true.
know how Arsenal wants to get those two guys. It's
No,
going to be one or the other.
that's true.
Yeah, unless
Um,
that's the only thing they're spending is just buy those two guys and or sell half of the team because I
yeah.
don't know, you know. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I think your points are quite obvious.
Yeah.
I would jump straight to you, Otto, because you were just talking about your team. So, Otto, I know there are 3, 4 guys in that team that need replaced, but you got to pick two.
The first one has to be Benzema.
Okay.
Have to go.
I mean, you've been on that guy, so I mean that makes sense. But
I've been wanting that guy to go. He needs to go. He needs to go because we waited for a long time for him to really explode until last season, and there's no way he's gonna come back. His age. I don't know what is happening to him. I definitely would like to, for him. You know what? There's a guy on the bench. Had to be a guy on the bench to at least to replace him, and he had to probably to stay there and for let them know, you know what, you're not gonna be a starter, but okay, you stay, but you're not gonna be a starter. So we wasting a position there. But do we have a replacement? No, Mariano. I don't think so. Mariano is not the guy. There's no way. So they need to get rid of Mariano and probably him to stay. If they talk to him, Mariano have no problem to be on the bench. He's just getting his money, and he knows whenever he have an opportunity, he will come in. But I mean, to sell Mariano, to keep him as a backup and get a good player, a really really good killer, and the media. I think I know. I would love to see a replacement for Cross. I was thinking about Luka Modric, his experience and everything. For him for us to have him on the team is a plus. And anyway, even though that is not it's not public, he already talked about the renewal for an extra year. I already heard about it on the media in Spain that he's renewing for one more year because actually on that age media for players in Real Madrid when they about I think it's 31, 31 or 32, I think Real Madrid cannot make contracts more than 1 year. So they have to accept that. That's the reason why Ronaldo left. Cristiano Ronaldo left. He couldn't accept to be on a renewal year by year like Modric is doing right now. So there's no other way to do it. That's the way Madrid is. So Modric won and Cross at least to sell because I don't think Ceballos is gonna be staying as a replacement. So in order to keep, and I don't think they're gonna get rid of Cross either. They're probably gonna keep him as a backup, and get Bellingham, which is the right position. I probably think will be a good position for him. I don't know what exactly they talking about, but I don't know. Those two guys need a replacement. Cross is I won't get rid of him, give him an extra year, but we need a good starter and a good forward killer a
Okay,
perfect.
that makes sense.
That those are the
So
two guys that I think we need. I know the defense needs a little bit more, but
no, no,
you,
you gotta pick two. You gotta
I pick
stick to
those two.
two.
I
Yeah,
pick those two.
you know, there's so many you have holes everywhere. You got things you gotta do, but you gotta stick with those two. But I'm surprised you picked midfield and Modric because you already have Bellingham coming.
Mhm.
And you have Chouameni on the bench, and you have Cavaminga. So I would have been thinking you would have picked left back, but I mean, I understand because with Bellingham,
Cross is very essential. That position that Cross play is very essential. So that's what I'm thinking. He's going on the bench, and that guy comes in.
but
And
you already have Cavaminga, Chouameni, and Bellingham coming. Then you have Cruz,
but
Modric,
Camavinga,
another midfield.
you know what? Because uh, Carlo Ancelotti had been testing Camavinga. That guy plays in every single position that you play. He's just fantastic.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
is.
very young guy. So I think he tried to play it on as a winger, left back, and to position Bellingham right there in the middle. Because that's why when Cross is not in, is the only way that he's in. Do you I mean, excuse me, when what's his name? The Valverde. When Valverde
Valverde,
don't play
okay.
in that position. So in the last game, Camavinga played as a defense, and because Kroos was there, and the one that it was not performing was Modric. So those two guys have to be on the bench, and Bellingham and Chouamani have to be a starter because they're fresh. Those guys, Modric and Kroos, cannot play 90 minutes anymore. Impossible. They cannot.
Okay.
Are
Even
you
if they
keep
want, can. But they have to be there because of the experience. So you have to know how to manage them. Valverde have to be there. That guy is a key. And
Yeah.
Camavinga has to stay there on that position, moving back and forth from the middle to the back, middle to the back. So I think that those two positions are very key positions
What?
because
What?
I know cross. I think has to be on the bench. I mean,
But
they need to get rid of Ceballos, I think.
but I was gonna ask a question.
I was just
That
gonna say, are you keeping Chouameni? Like, there's been a lot of rumors about maybe trying to get rid of him. Is that
No,
you think
no,
that's
no,
in the
no,
plans? Or
no. They're gonna
okay,
keep him. That
that
guy,
guy,
okay,
yeah.
he's a good
Vinicius
player.
is just
great.
so new.
Yeah.
Remember when Vinicius started? He was very young,
Yeah,
and he need time and more minutes.
yeah.
Look now how he's performing. Vinicius is the
Okay.
one. Always
The thing, the only reason I'm wondering is, wouldn't it just be better to just get a good left wing back and then move Kamavinga inside? But you know your team better than me. I'm just thinking out loud that you have Valverde, you have uh, Bellingham coming in, you have Chouameni already, who needs minutes, you have Kamavinga. So somebody else would, but you know your team better. And the question is, who do you want? So,
those are the ones that I want. Oh, and
yeah.
definitely, Benzema
Yeah.
has to go.
Oh,
Has to go.
definitely. I'm not arguing that. I'm not even trying to argue that because that is your first choice. But Ovi, I'm going to go to you because your team is almost perfect. Now, that's why I left you before I
Almost
answer.
perfect.
I almost,
Oh my God! And
well.
even as you were killing him. Oh my
Come on, man.
goodness!
I gotta gaslight him. I gotta
Oh,
gaslight him
come
a little
on!
bit. Come on, man. I gotta gaslight him a little
Oh
bit.
my God.
They play the most exciting football in the league, so like, so they must be that good. But
Uh,
on a more serious note, Ovi, two positions, and if you have the players in your mind already, you want your team to feel this summer.
yeah. So for me, well, I will just give short, quick context of what I think we need overall, and I'll not go on the two I prefer, the two I think are the priority. So I think for us now, for number one, we've considered over 40 goals already. So we need to do something in defense. Not because we are bad defensively, but because if somebody gets injured in the starting lineup, the next player is a big drop. There's a big drop off. So I think in terms of defense, we only have five defenders. The starting lineup and Tomiyasu that are pretty much on the same level. After that, you're going to start dropping off. So we need a center back, we need a full back, we need two midfielders and a forward of some kind, either a wide forward or a striker. So the two most important, in my opinion, ideally, I would love to see a forward score come in to give us more attacking bites, but we've scored so many goals this season. So I'm almost leaning towards two midfielders because I feel like the center back, if we are lucky, for the defenders, if we're lucky with injuries, we can actually cope. We just need some luck with injuries. But in the midfield, Granit Xhaka is going. So we need two players. Before he was going out, I said we needed one player, but I think we need two players. In terms of names, I mean, we have already come second. You want to come first, right? Why don't you just go for Rice and Caicedo and go from there? That's it. There's no need to penny pinch at this point. Yes, it might cost you 160, 170, but the past few seasons we've already been spending 150. I think with Champions League this season we shouldn't spend less than 200. And if you have to buy two players for 170, then that's fine. Sell some players and buy the other two players you need or something for the other positions. But I think you have to go big in that midfield. Thomas Partey right now is being benched by Jorginho. That says a lot. Thomas Partey started the season very well, but he faded toward the end of the season. And if that's our best central midfielder, then we need to step it up there. That's what I think. I think we need more energy, we need more power, we need more, if possible, experience. But experience doesn't mean you have to be 30. Someone like Declan Rice has been captain of his club for the last years. He's been playing. He's probably played over 100, 200 Premier League matches by now. And then some people just have talent. Like I would say, like I said, Declan Rice. I would say get Declan Rice and they get a second midfielder, either Caicedo or the guy from Southampton, Lavia. I like the way he plays. So one of those kind of players. If you have the money, go Caicedo. If you don't, then go maybe cheaper with Lavia. But that's what I think are the two most important. Two.
Okay. I mean, this I don't think anyone here will argue with what you just said for because I think Arsenal's season was derailed by Partey, as EJ says, showing his true age. Like the guy, Arsenal's form dropped when he started making
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
started playing poorly. Arsenal's form dropped. And then the other, but I just thought out loud that your form also dropped when Saliba was out,
yeah.
and so
That's why it
but
gives
it makes sense. Replace Zaka, get somebody else
yeah,
to.
the five we need are there.
Mhm,
A
mhm,
fullback, a center
yeah,
back, two midfielders and forward.
but
But
we'll stick with your two.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because we're not doing fantasy football here. We're
yeah,
gonna because I mean, let's put it like this: none of us here is Man City. I mean,
yeah,
if there's a Man City fan here, I'll just say, give us 11 players. Your players are going to buy. Your team can buy this summer.
yeah.
But we all know teams are going to buy maybe two or three players, good players, and buy those little ones around. I'll take the last comment I got here, or the only comment since then before I take make my own suggestion for my team, because that's exactly what I want for my team. And there's Akinola Digun hit it on point. He says that Man United need a midfielder and a number nine. There's so many other problems, and this is why. There are other problems in the team. There are a lot of places you need, you know. But um Rashford has carried this team on his back and climbed the tree, then jumped and started climbing a hill. That's how bad it's been. Like if other players were with other players. That's just the weird thing about it. There was other players filling in just 10 goals here. You know, the gap between him and the rest of the team is too much. Like you got to put it, if you add the rest of the guys together, he's first, and you add second, third, fourth. I don't think they have as much goals as those three guys combined. Do not have as many goals as it does, because it's like 8 goals, then 4 goals, 3 goals, that kind of stuff. 3 goals, and then a lot of one, 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 one. So, um, so it's like he's carrying the team. We need a scorer. We need a number nine. Like if you asked me, fantasy would be Harry Kane, but I don't want Harry Kane because you want to get Harry Kane when he's the cherry on top of the tree, when you've built the rest of the team. Harry Kane at this point of his career is in a win now mode. So he's gonna cost a lot for a player who's gonna be here for only 3 years or thereabouts. Harry Kane has a long injury history, so the wear and tear on his body means that there is a high chance that he won't be. I'm not saying that I'm not saying I'm definite, but it looks like he might not be playing deep into his 30s. Because if he keeps getting these niggling injuries in his, by the time he's 35, he'll be like, I've had enough. It's not worth it. So that's the only problem I have with Harry Kane. But when it comes to fit, he's the best fit for Manchester United. He's actually the number nine when I think about that would bring the best out of people like Rashford and people like Anthony, because he's the guy that can drop into midfield, take the ball, and drag defenders out of position. And Rashford cuts in. Um, he can play combination play very well with somebody like Anthony, and Anthony seems to be a guy that wants combination play. He likes it. He likes to come in, do the give and go, and then shoot. So he's going to give him those good passes, and then of course I don't have to explain that Harry Kane is until Haaland appeared, Harry Kane is the consummate goal scorer. It's just he can do almost everything as a goal scorer. So that would have been the guy, but his age is just a problem. So yeah, I'd therefore have to pick Osimhen. I think Harry Kane's game is more complete than Osimhen, but Osimhen would be the best choice now due to the age profile. If you're going to spend that much, get someone who's going to be here for at least 10 years. Then midfielder. Uh, I know some people don't want to hear that, but I want Frankie De Jong. I want him. We don't have any midfielder in Manchester United that plays like, for example, Thiago of Thiago without the injuries, Thiago of Liverpool, silky midfielder, had to get the ball off. Line up and I'll dribble all of you. But I'm not going to because I can pass the ball. But if you guys decide to rush me, I'll dribble you. But you now leave guys free, then I can feed them. So you're not going to come and rush me. And then if you give me that space, I'm going to play. An upgrade on Ericsson because Ericsson is just not durable. He's always been, kind of low energy guy. Well, let me not use. I think that's a wrong word to use. A wrong phrase to use. So I'll take that back. He's not been. The better way to put it is, he's not a high energy guy. That's never been his style of game. And in this kind of football now, because of pressing, modern football pressing, you need to be able to go up and down a lot. Already we know Frankie de Jong can do that. He can play like Ericsson, he can drop the passes and he can dribble far better than Ericsson. So that guy that's going to come deep to midfield, deep to the defense and take the ball and play it out from the back. If you're going to play that kind of game, Ten Hag wants to do, play from the back, you need him. That's the guy I think about. People will talk about Caicedo, and I go, Caicedo is very good, but he's not as silky as that guy. With somebody like Ericsson, you can even say, for example, it's not Ericsson, Frankie. You can rest Bruno Fernandes sometimes, and then bring in a Fred who's high energy. You can give it a high energy midfield and play Fred, Frankie, and Casemiro. You can rest Casemiro and play Fred, Bruno, Frankie. So he gives us different profiles, and then of course you can also even move Ericsson closer to the 9 and rest Bruno. So he gives us a different look. To me, he's a Rolls Royce, what I call a Rolls Royce midfielder, and I know why Eric Ten Hag wanted it. When you watch this team, you can really see he is the guy that would complete that midfield. There are other things in that team, there are other needs, but for me, that's it. That's it. So, does anyone have any comments about this, or I can move on?
I think we're good on that.
All right, cool.
We already bent.
All right. So now this one is very. I think this should be the easiest part. We're gonna start with the young player of the season. I'm gonna read out the nominees first. The nominees for the Premier League Young Player of the Season were Saka, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Martinelli, McAllister, Caicedo, Sven Botman, and Alexander Isaac. So, starting with you, Otto, the neutral fan, you're neutral because you're not from the EPL. Who is your young player of the year?
I, for some reason, I like Saka. Well, I don't know. In my opinion, I like Saka. I don't know why. Because they going over for Martin Odegaard. I think he was in our team. He didn't show the
Quality.
expectation and the quality
Yeah.
as a player. He's doing magnificent in England, in the Premier League. But I think Saka will be in my second choice. Will be like for him to be in this magnificent team of Manchester City is McAllister. But Saka for me will be my option. My option.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Ovi.
Uh, Prior to this season, I used to say Odegaard is my favorite Arsenal player, and Saka is the best Arsenal player. That's the way I used to look at it. But Odegaard has pushed on to a new level this season, and especially considering Saka, I think Saka has just been burnt out the last couple of months. It's just been too much for him, and I think overall, based on this season, I would say Odegaard. I still think it's close between him and Saka, but I'll go for Odegaard because even in the last couple of months, he's still been trying to push us unsuccessfully over the line. But I'll go with Odegaard. He's the one that makes us stick. He controls our game. He's the captain. And I'll give it to him. I think this is the last time he's going to qualify in this category. Saka probably still has one more year, so he probably might win it next. But I'll go for Odegaard this year.
Kabiyesi.
My question is, maybe I just misheard. Why is Holland not on the list?
No, this is young player of the year.
Young player.
First. We're doing young player of the year first.
Young player.
Before
Yeah,
the
but
player
Holland's only 22.
I know. I was asking myself why he was not on the list. He's 22.
Right. That's right.
Yes.
He qualifies.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's 22.
He's
You know, I asked
qualified.
myself, Bola, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, he
surprised that he was
qualified.
not on the list.
But he
But
wasn't
I
nominated
think
as a young player of the year. He wasn't. He wasn't.
It should be like this shouldn't be even be a discussion. It should be a double young player of the year, player of the
Thank
year.
you for bringing that up, Bola.
Yeah, if he was there, it should be him easy. But
Indeed.
And it's
Yeah.
not like it hasn't
Right
happened
about that.
before. People have
Yeah.
won it. People have won young player and player of the year. I think what this might have done was they might have just gone, okay, they wanted to put some other guys in and they took him out.
Yeah,
That's what it
probably.
looks like. Yeah, because with all due respect to, sorry, Bola, I know I told you, but with all due respect to the other 5 guys on that list, Martinelli, McAllister, Caicedo, Botman, Isaac,
Yeah.
it's only Saka and Odegaard between those two, as far as I feel,
Yeah.
and Haaland, and he had a better season than everybody. So,
Yeah.
I'm surprised, Bola. Bola, you're right. I'm surprised that he was not on the list.
yeah,
Like I heard McAllister. I'm like, McAllister is 24. Like, how is that qualifying? But so my pick would be Holland. But if we have to be strict to, this list, one of the Arsenal boys.
No.
I wouldn't mind which
You
one.
can actually choose yours because we're not.
I'll go Saka.
Yeah.
I'll go Saka. A lot of Arsenal players really sing the praises of Odegaard, and I know he's a solid player, but the Arsenal matches that I saw Saka having more of an impact. So I'm open either way. Like one of the 2 Arsenal boys can win it. You guys had an amazing season, so I'm okay.
Guess what? Guess what? I take that back. Excuse me, I have to take that back. For some reason, I missed it. Haaland is nominated.
Oh, okay.
Good guy.
Okay.
Yes, I missed it. Haaland, because I went and checked the official website.
Okay.
Haaland is nominated.
Erase everything.
So
Holland.
No, please.
Definitely in the top.
Let's not even discuss. Let's just say, the guys had a good season, blah, 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 blah. Haaland is your young player of the year. And then who's your player of the year?
Haaland.
I think it's unanimous. It's Haaland. I mean,
Haaland.
De Bruyne had a great season. Harry Kane had a great season. Odegaard had a great season. Rashford carried Manchester United. I don't know what Trippier is doing on this list. Saka had a good season, but
But I have a point. Like McAllister instead of Alvarez. Seriously?
Alvarez stayed on the bench a lot.
Yeah, he barely played.
On the bench a lot. He
On the
barely
bench.
played. Yeah, so that.
But every time he comes, he's just amazing. Player.
Yeah, I know.
Great player.
Yeah.
And also, that's such a testament, right, to like this whole Man City team. Imagine being so good that the World Cup winning striker from is on your bench. Barely.
No. Imagine how good that team is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me tell you how bad it is, right? It's so bad that this guy has scored 17 goals. He's a bench striker. Alvarez has scored 17 goals.
Wow.
In all competitions.
Yeah. In all competitions, yes. 17 goals.
You heard that?
Yes. Yeah. Alvarez has scored 17. Like, so how many strikers have scored 17 goals this season?
Even all the Arsenal boys.
Yeah. Yeah. How many? Apart from Rashford, you
Kane,
know,
Kane,
Kane. What's his name? The Brentford guy,
Tony.
the Tony.
Tony.
Yeah, how many guys have scored? Come on, you gotta be kidding me, man. No, no, no. Otto, please. Like I said, I asked you earlier. Do not try. Look, I said it earlier in one of when I was on a podcast. It's the hope that kills. Please stop giving these Arsenal guys hope. Don't tell them learn from it. There's nothing to learn from. Just come and qualify for Champions League like the rest of us. You know, there is a top one, and then under it now, the second six, a top one and it's no longer a top six because Newcastle now makes it a top seven, but it's a top one and the rest of the six. So the rest of the six are now fighting for the three Champions League positions. That's what it is. Until Pep disappears or something magical happens.
You know what's funny? The other three teams that made top four last season,
Mm-hmm.
Spurs, Chelsea, and Liverpool, were
Mhm.
replaced by Arsenal, Newcastle, and Man U this time.
That's
So
right.
but right, people
Yeah.
of the top four, only one team is guaranteed. Any other spot is there for anybody.
Yeah, no. Like you gotta you like Arsenal at a point where we're looking like they will make 90 points.
Yeah.
They were looking like they will make 90 points. And they would not win the league. When I started watching the Premier League, if you made 90 points, you will win the league.
It's done.
If you made 85 points, you will win the league.
Yeah.
Now, Man City is making 90 points easily every season.
Almost every season.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's move on, please. Let's move on. There's no discussion. This discussion is you just come play it. The rest of us just fight for positions, give them default. So we're gonna jump to kudos and donkeys of the week. I already have my donkey. I already have my kudos. I have a couple of donkeys this week, but unless someone doesn't mention one of them, I would say only one. And so, Otto, do you have a donkey for this week?
I will say 3 donkeys. One donkey, I mean, the whole entire Real Madrid team.
That's right. I expected that.
The first one goes to, you already know, I mean, Karim Benzema.
I was expecting
Come
that.
Come on, man. We're there, brother. It was the opportunity to shut mine and everybody's mouth. And you know what? I never like to give the donkeys to the to nominate the donkeys to the head coach, but man, what a mistake he did, man. It just Ancelotti. Ancelotti did a pretty bad, but honestly, at the end of the day, it's the players, the whole entire Real Madrid team, pitch and bent, everyone. It's like literally they did not show to compete. Period.
All right.
It makes me feel that they stayed in Spain. No one told them, "Hey, it's Champions League." They didn't,
No.
the Champions League team didn't realize so. The whole team.
They didn't play that music. They say whenever they hear that Champions League music, Real Madrid switches on, but they didn't play that music.
And my kudo.
No. Save your kudos. We'll do the donkeys first, and we'll do the kudos. So, Bola, I'll go to you. What's your donkey for this week?
I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not gonna go after fan bases or anything like that. So I don't have any. donkeys.
Come on, man! You can.
Come on, man! Come on! Come on, man!
I'll be good. I'm working on that side of my character. I'm working on
it.
Say
it, man. Say it. You can mention Karim Benzema. You can say that.
Come on, man. Like Arsenal Fan TV.
Just for this. Oh, there's plenty over there.
Oh, come on. If you want to give me examples, there's so many donkeys this week.
Oh, man. I'll be nice. I'll be nice. And hopefully the gods will reward me, So we still have something to pray for. So, I believe in the football gods and, You know, I don't want no one to fire me. So, I'll be
Ovi,
respectful. I'll give
Ovi.
a double kudos when it comes along.
I already know who was your donkey, but we already know that was a very, very implied donkey. Ovi, what's your
All I know
donkey
is
for
I'm
this
winning
week?
$100.
I think, like I said, we know who your donkey for the week is. Ovi, you had a donkey for the week?
So I have a couple of donkeys.
Mhm.
One is my. I know, like I said, for me, I would have said, oh, Arsenal, but I've, I already accepted Arsenal's fate 2, 3 weeks ago. So at this point, I would just go to Spurs, still losing to Brentford, probably going to finish eighth when they look like a they look like they shoehorned for top four a few months ago. So I would go with Spurs for one, and then second one I would go with I don't want to sound bitter, but I would go with the Man City um, legal representative that said, "Oh, the Arsenal fan is in charge of some." I'm like, who do you want to be? Arsenal have no rivalry with Man City. What are you talking about? So if the man was going to be a Leeds fan, what's he going to say? Oh, the man is a Leeds fan. If it was a Man U fan, he's going to say there was a Man U fan. What does that have to do with anything? Like, face the charge, still, this is what makes it wrong. I mean, rather than say, oh, you're an Arsenal fan, Arsenal and Man City have no rivalry whatsoever. There is no rivalry there. So what is the problem? That's just what those are my two kudos for the week.
Your
Oh, sorry,
donkeys, you mean?
two donkeys for the week. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. You guys have mentioned. I actually still have two donkeys because Bola reminded me of the third donkey. You guys have mentioned one of my donkeys. Uh, so thank you, Bola, for reminding me. But quickly before I drop my donkey, I can know that Digo just dropped his donkeys for the week. He said his donkey is Sam Allardyce. Yeah, he's getting relegated. Bayern. Oh my god, that's why I said there's so many donkeys this week. And Frank Lampard. Oh my goodness. Like if Frank Lampard gets a job after this and it's not in the championship, like
Okay, excuse me. He
hmm?
get the job.
No, if
No,
he gets another job after he leaves
Oh,
and it's not in the championship, he has to go drop down to the championship because that's his level. That's the only place he's done well.
well, Lampard needs, buddy. He needs to get out of the Premier League. He
Yeah,
yeah.
needs to.
it's
He
still
needs.
good for you.
Yeah, he needs to get out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bayern Munich, oh my god. They fired their coach and all of that, and they still look like they will lose everything. Like and then they hired the coach who is going to still burn up the dressing room. We all know how what Tuchel is gonna do. But anyway, like we'll see next season. Sam Allardyce, that magic doesn't always work. You get relegated this season. My donkey of the week, my first donkey of the week is Tony. Like I know people say, "Oh, the gambling, whatever." Look, the fact that they advertise alcohol everywhere does not mean that I should drink and fall on the street. I mean, yeah, alcoholism is they can say is a it's not that can say it's a disease. It's a bona fide disease and certified as one. And the same thing with gambling addiction. It's a disease too. But that does not mean that people shouldn't face consequences. So the excuses people were making that the Premier League has gambling sponsors and all of that. So this young man now they've lured him into gambling. I'm like, nope. This guy was should not be gambling. He's making a lot of
A lot
money.
of money.
Yeah, he's making a lot of money, and there are other avenues to gamble on. There are a lot of other sports. There are other avenues. So if you're gambling on football and no, it's inexcusable. And why it hurts is, as a black man, there's one thing I keep saying. It's the same thing, although you would know this, where these guys, for example, from Brazil, South America, they get a chance. They come to Europe, they start making money, and then they mess up. As a black man, you you know that you need to take all your opportunities. This guy is about to break into the English team.
Yeah.
He might never get into it again.
Yeah.
So he might have bonus chance. I mean, I pray he bounces back from it because we don't fail up. Black people don't fail up. We generally don't. You have to be very lucky to fail up. we don't have that privilege. So, if he was some lily blonde guy from, somewhere in Europe, they'll come back, rehabilitate his, reputation, and he will look better. But nah, poor guy. I hope his career doesn't suffer too much from it. I hope he's able to find his form. That's all I'll say about it. Then my other donkey of the week is Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans. Not the club, not the players. Respect to them. But dude, when you guys went out of Carling Cup, we're focusing on the league. My United won the Carling Cup. No, we don't need that. That's what did they call it? So yeah, like paper cup, whatever. Got knocked out of the FA Cup. No, 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 no. We're focusing on the league. And then, dude, you guys still had the guts to come and start trying to tell us, oh, we had a great season. Dude, you lost your trophy to sides that were going to get relegated and sides that were in the bottom half of the table. These guys were struggling for relegation. That's who knocked you out, apart from Liverpool. And Liverpool were struggling too. Like, yeah, like I can only saying it. Arsenal was all season blessing in disguise. I can only say it. Blessing in disguise FC. Bigger fish to fry FC. Like, if we would have respected you guys if you guys were not trolling. You were just laughing at other guys. Oh, 7-0. We lost 7-0. We did. Dude, for all the great football you finished, dude, we ended up at the same spot. Except Manchester United. Guess what? We have a trophy. We have a trophy. We played the best. We played the most exciting football. Man, there's no difference between second and fourth now. You don't play qualifiers. Everybody's all going to get drawn in the Champions League. And it's not like if we get into the Champions League, we won't place higher than any, apart from Newcastle, because you place higher than Newcastle, because you haven't been in the Champions League in a while. So your coefficient is low. So you're not even going to be seeded and all that. Man United will still be seeded higher than you. Like, and then you guys are trolling Liverpool. Liverpool won the Champions League like 2 seasons. Like, God, like I was just watching some stuff. I saw what's his name, Toby Odumosu, going off on Facebook. I'm like, Toby, dude, I would hide my face. I would hide my face right now. You can't troll no one. Like, you can't even troll a Liverpool fan. Yeah, you can troll a sports fan, but you don't know any sports fans. There's no sports fans on that forum. So, dude, just, take your L. Yeah, you can troll Chelsea fans, but Chelsea fans, like, you can't even troll Chelsea. Like, the best thing you can say is that we qualified for Champions League for the first time in how many years? These you guys will be like, we just won it 2 years ago. Like, like, come on, Arsenal fans, have some shame. Arsenal fans, have some shame, please. Like, you finished higher than, like, that's kind of like saying we finished higher than United FC. You've gone from we finished higher than Spurs, St. Tottenham Day to now you're gonna go St. Manchester United Day or something. That's what you're gonna do now. So, Ovi, I'm sorry, you're a very cool guy. I want almost all the Arsenal fans. I know you're one of the nice ones. But EJ, Toby, God, I keep forgetting your names. But all of you, man, you brought me out of Facebook. I'm back because of Arsenal fans. So, man, I gotta say one time, man, please, all summer, just come out and take your L. Come out and take your L. If you say Pim, we will remind you. We will remind you. You were the elephant that was on top of the tree in the room. What happened? You all fell.
Oh my days.
So come on, like I'm not nice like Bola. I'm not nice, man. You guys are not nice at all.
I'm still in the middle of my prayers, so I don't want any interruptions. So I'd rather Man United say the mean things and pray to the football gods for leniency. And
wait, just a short rebuttal. Like, I don't know what you guys expect from Arsenal fans. I remember when Arsenal won the FA Cup a few years ago. my father saying, "Oh, just FA Cup, we win Champions League." But I'm like, so what do you guys expect us to do when you're now winning Cali Cup? We should not say, "Oh, Cali Cup." No, it doesn't mean anything to anybody. So it's just the point of banter is that when you banter wrongly, it's gonna come back and catch you. So for us now, I didn't see how we will be top, and some people will not get excited. I mean, it's just even me. I was very controlled, but still, I was like in my bedroom. I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it this season." Yeah, but you said, yeah. Sonny cannot tell me, you know what? It's been 19 years. Maybe we'll do like Liverpool and make it a round number, like 20 years. But I was like, no, this year we're doing it. Let's go. Yeah, but I didn't say to anybody. I kept it in my bedroom and in my shower. That's all. So, but another day, I can't blame any other for being excited. You're on top of the table. We have been in the doldrums for too long. So I can understand them. But people like me, we're a little bit controlled. But at the end of the day, we felt that time. Everybody said, "Oh, well, the elephant, what elephant? Just let us win in peace. Forget about elephants. Let us just win." So that's what I'll say.
You know, like Akinola said, you're Humpty Dumpty FC. You know, we're not gonna let you win in peace until you win it.
I
You know,
know.
you until you crack that ceiling.
So
And
Akinola is what team? He's coming up.
Akinola
He's
is
going off.
Akinola is the Manchester United fan, if I'm correct. Yeah, the Manchester United fan.
What his team?
Manchester United.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Look, this is it, right? Let me tell you guys something, right? If you thought there was hell on earth when Liverpool won the Premier League and their fans were going, look, if Arsenal wins the Premier League, we won't just leave social media. You won't leave Twitter, Facebook. You will leave the face of the earth. Because
So
these guys, oh God,
that's
the way they showed it,
yeah.
just when they thought they were going to win, oh God, they're
But
going to pull.
yeah, that's even small because most of us are old enough to remember when we won the league. If
Mhm.
Arsenal win the Champions League, you can as well just forget it.
Oh,
Forget
no. These guys will go and
forget
pull receipts from when did Facebook start? 2005.
Ovi,
They'll pull
Ovi,
receipts from 2005.
Ovi, those are big words, buddy.
I'm just saying because some of us are old enough to remember when we. I mean, 2004 is just 19 years ago.
Yeah.
We've not won the Champions League. If we win the Champions League, all the banter we've received about Champions League, we're gonna bring it out.
I don't want to pin myself, but that's an interesting take, my brother.
That's right. But Obi, you know what's gonna happen, man.
Oh my goodness.
He said, "Oh, okay." Last comment, and we will have to wrap up after this comment because we can go on.
Akinola have to be part of the show next time, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he has to be here
You
soon.
can
Yeah,
find that guy.
I Akinola needs to be here because he's got some smoke and he. God.
Oh, thank you, Akinola.
Yeah, he goes, Ovi, Mickey Mouse Trophy is better than nothing. Do you get what nothing means? As Buchi said, a lot of Arsenal fans are lousy. Now I got to put some context in this, right? Arsenal fans didn't win nothing. They got top 4. That's a big achievement. To be fair, because I know Bola would have taken top 4 beginning of this season. And he's praying for it now, right now. That's how important top 4 is. I mean, Akinola goes, I respect Liverpool. Arsenal fans are insufferable. Okay, Arsenal fans are insufferable, but there is no love lost between me and Liverpool. But Liverpool has better fans than Arsenal fans. That's just a simple truth. But there is no love lost. Like, I sit down whenever Liverpool loses, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Man,
Ooh, this is
what a man.
no.
Serious.
He's a Liverpool fan. It's like a Barcelona, Real Madrid. He knows.
We know who the heavyweights in the country are. The heavyweights.
The seven. Look, I could not watch that 7-0 game.
Liverpool.
I didn't finish. I've never watched it again. I haven't seen. I never saw the last 4. The last 3 goals. I will never see it again. I've never watched the replay. I do not care. It did not happen. I just walked away. Because for me to admit that happened, oh my God. it's like the 5-0. Remember the 5-0 at Benabo? Yeah, that's what that was like. So no. So Liverpool, I respect their fans. Their fans are well behaved, you know. Apart from Jamie Carragher, he's an ass. He's a total donkey. But most Liverpool fans, but Arsenal fans, oh my god, like. But guys, I'm really, really glad you guys came out. It's been a great show. Otto, it's good to see you again.
I think you're missing kudos.
No, we've done kudos.
We didn't do
Oh my
kudos.
goodness. No. Huh?
You
No,
forget
we
about
didn't
the
do
kudos?
kudos. I forgot
We
about
didn't do
kudos. Oh my
kudos.
god. Oh my god.
You forgot about the
Oh
kudos.
god.
You were so concentrated on
Arsenal. Oh
Liverpool.
my.
Talking
Oh,
about against Liverpool. So
no,
bad.
Arsenal. Oh my
Forget
god.
about it.
No. I gotta do kudos. So okay, since I'm stopped, I'm gonna start, and then I'll round up the show. I'm gonna start with my kudos. It pains me to say this, but Manchester City are the greatest team in the world right now. They deserve all the kudos for this week, and so they get it from me. Um, so I'm gonna go to you, Ovi.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For me, kudos, I would give mine to Brighton. I think it's going to be their first time in a European tournament, so that's good for them. So they are a very smart club and they're doing well. So kudos to them.
Bola.
For me, I have three quick ones. Third place goes to the legend that made me cry back in the day, but I always put respect on his name, Jose Mourinho, Ayo's favorite coach. Big up, making the second European champion, European final in 2 years. Second kudos, obviously Manchester City, phenomenal team, best team around right now. Hopefully, we get to compete with them next year. And my number one kudos goes to one of my favorite players of all time, a Liverpool legend. We're going to miss him dearly, Roberto Firmino, aka the Arsenal killer, aka the system, aka Bobby Dazzler, the man, the myth, the legend. We love him so much. And no, thank you to him for everything he's done for us.
AKA White Teeth.
White Teeth Phenom.
Yeah, good player, man. Good player. Good player. That's right. That's one of the few Liverpool players I respect. I like the way he plays football. Otto.
I agree also with Bola. I have Mourinho. He's a great coach. And he was very emotional that he came back and playing in that competition is difficult because all the teams want to go into the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely give it to Mourinho. The second one, I give it to the whole entire Inter de Milan team.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Fantastic.
That's right.
They made that game so easy to play. Semifinals of Champions League they're not easy, and they dominate AC Milan extremely. Super
Yeah.
performance. Well, hopefully they compete better than. Excuse me, they compete not like Madrid, right?
Yeah.
And my first kudos to the whole entire Manchester.
City.
Manchester City team. They overperform my Real Madrid, and I love football. I am a Real Madrid fan to death, but I enjoy the real good football and what the whole entire team, including from the head coach from Pep all the way to the players, they did an amazing. I mean, I thought that I was watching a FIFA game. It was so good, man. It just see this guy playing. It's just pretty amazing. And that's what the Champions League is about, right? Who wants to watch a, a Champions League game like boring game? I mean, that's what that is all about. You don't want only one team to compete. You want a competition, right?
Yeah.
So, well, they overperform my team, and I definitely give it big kudos to them.
That's right. That's right.
They deserve to be in the final, and who knows? I think that they will get they look very up uplifted to keep that championship. So definitely, those are my kudos.
All right. To round up all of those kudos, I'm going to say one thing. There's one thing that seems to be going on in football is everyone has already crowned Man City treble winners. I mean, we're already expecting them to win it. And so that's why it seemed that it was a good thing you remembered Inter because people are forgetting Inter's achievement. First
Yes,
Champions League
I did not.
final
I did
in
not.
in over 10 years, if I'm correct. Mourinho
Yes.
won it. I can't remember when
Mourinho.
Mourinho. Yeah, I think that was
Mhm.
2010, if I'm correct, or 2000 and I can't
Yeah.
remember the year he won. It was 2010, if I'm correct. So it's 13 years. I pray. I'm not a hater, but I honestly pray they surprise Man City. That would be the sweetest end of the season.
And hopefully they do. So, but
Yeah,
anyway, I just want to watch a very good
yeah.
final.
I want to watch a good final, but I
Oh
just
my God, it's
pray. I
gonna be a good
pray.
final.
Oh God, it would be
I
so
know you guys as a Premier League. I know you want to see the Manchester City lose so bad. I know you want to do it,
Oh
and
God.
it's not about that. I just want to see the best thing because Champions League is about is we've been talking about the previous championship. Oh, it's about luck, 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 luck. The Real Madrid's lucky, lucky, lucky. Remember, Bola, last conversation we had.
Mhm,
There's
mhm.
Yep.
about they're lucky, lucky. No, it's not about being lucky.
Not.
Champions, Champions League is not lucky. You
Hmm.
have to win it. It's hard. It's hard to get there, and
Yeah.
uh, and that's what it's all about. Good football game,
Hmm.
and hopefully I get to see Inter because that's my side. Not because they overperform my team. No, because I've been following the Inter for a while, and they deserve it. They deserve to come back.
And they
Excellent,
have
team to compete. So, yep.
and they have a Croatian. Let's see if that rule holds out. There's been a Croatian that's won the Champions League like was it like 15 years in a row, something
Yeah,
crazy like that.
that's right.
So I don't know. I don't want to pin anything. I don't see how City can lose, but maybe the gods have something else in plan. We'll see.
Well, that's why they're the gods, you know.
You
Because
know, the gods,
yeah, but no, not the gods you're praying to.
the
I'm praying
football
to a
gods.
different God. No, 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 no. Because if they answer, no, no, please let's separate the prayers because I don't want them to answer your prayer because I know what you're praying for. So because we're praying for, so we're only agreeing on this prayer. That prayer you're praying, no. Liverpool are going to Europa League.
Oh,
Liverpool are going to Europa League because I know your prayers. So let's separate the prayers now. All right, guys. It was nice to have you guys. It was good to see you again, Bola, Ovi, Otto. Thanks for coming out. Let's hope for a good Champions League final because most of the leagues are all wrapped up. Of course, also hoping that Dortmund finishes the job in Germany. But apart from that, all the leagues we're interested in are wrapped up. So it's now for the Champions League final and the Europa League final. I want Roma to win. I like Jose, and of course, I'm hoping Inter wins, but I know Man City will win. And then, but we'll see. And then, of course, there are the cup finals as well. So we'll see who wins the cups. But so, guys, go enjoy your week. Enjoy the end of the season. There's nothing coming up this summer, so really enjoy it because there's really no major football in this summer. So thanks, guys, and guys that came to watch. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
appreciate that. You're the reason why we do this. So thank you again, and see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.